And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win, the week of Who Would Win. And from, I believe it's Kakarot Bardock's son, we have a question of who wins in a fight, Mr. Fantastic versus Plastic Man. These are, whenever Death Battle gets around to putting either of these guys on the series, you know this is probably the matchup they're going with. Now, Mr. Fantastic obviously is the brains of the Fantastic Four. His main ability is his highly malleable body. Now it's not quite like rubber, but it's more or less rubber in function. He's extremely bendy and flexible, and to the point where he can do things like mock shape shifting, like enlarging his body. Basically, it's described as he's got a plastic like body, but not quite. His flesh is dense, meaning that you're not going to be able to hurt him with most like sort of concussion blasts, like missiles, bolts, or anything like that. He's not immune though to cutting weapons, so that is a weakness that he has. He can elongate himself up to like 1,500 feet, which is impressive, and that's before it becomes painful. He does have shape shifting capabilities like imitation, even two-dimensional, flatten himself, parachute himself, cushion, slingshots, infiltration, so forth and so on. Well, this is interesting. I didn't know about this one. Apparently, having accepted that Doctor Doom, that Doom's power as a Sorcerer's Supreme was too much to handle, Mr. Fantastic opted to finally learn magic, quickly even becoming capable of using it to access the astral plane until Doom sealed it access. As a result, specifically studying Doom's battle with Dormammu, Reed became capable of replicating all of the abilities of Doom during. I'm sorry. Hold on. I have clearly not. A lot of people apparently have not kept the Fantastic Four comics recently. Hold on. I need to look up. I need to look up exactly what he can do. Reed Richards is essentially a magic user now. That wait, what? Mr. Fantastic feats. Hold on one second. I need to. That one threw me for a freaking loop there. I did not know that had happened with Reed as of recently. So let's see here. Some feats for Mr. Fantastic. I'm trying to find any of the magical feats I can. Like all the other feats are whatever. But I'm trying to find any of the magical feats here. Give me 1 second. So I wasn't prepared for that. That really threw me for a loop. So while I'm getting a page of some of his feats up here, let's talk about Plastic Man. Similar to like a lot of metahumans, especially like the Flash. I can't actually remember Plastic Man's real name at the moment, but he got his powers due to an accident. He was okay, yeah, I don't have any magical feats here, but capable of doing everything Doctor Doom can. I mean, that is a statement. So anyway, he had like a gunshot wound and saw a certain amount of chemicals like leached in there and like got into his system and gave him essentially a body that is in a constant state of fluidity. It's neither solid nor liquid. It's somewhere in the middle, which means he allows him to essentially do everything that like Mr. Fantastic can do, but ultimately have less weaknesses because of that. See, unlike Mr. Fantastic, he really is just immune to straight physical harm. He can't be cut. Blunt force trauma injuries do nothing. But beyond that, Mr. Fantastic still has weaknesses to temperature, like heat, cold, all that. The only weakness to temperature that Plastic Man has is to extreme differences in temperature. He can handle a gradual change, whereas he cannot handle a sudden change. If, say, Superman suddenly hits him with his heat vision, well, that's going to really F him up. If he's hit with a sub-zero attack, that's going to freeze him solid and can mess him up. But it won't kill him outright. Unless you were to throw him into the sun, you would not kill him outright. He's also functionally immortal. Like, he just doesn't age. And he is weak to certain chemical solvents. Now, again, things like reality warping as well, magic, mysticism, anything, that would hurt him as well. So the question then becomes, and they both have experience as crime fighters, all that. So the question becomes who wins in the fight. And I'm going to say this. Before I saw the magic thing, it was a lot closer of a fight. These guys would just be going boing, boing, boing. But the difference would immediately be, even without the magic, the intelligence levels of these guys. Reed Richards is not the smartest man on earth. He's the smartest man in the multiverse. That's how he's described. This is a guy who has a council of himself. 3 of them armed with infinity gauntlets from his own reality. This is a guy who can make the ultimate nullifier. He can have access to, was it the negative zone? Not the negative zone. I can't remember the name of the other dimension that he usually throws. Not the Phantom Zones. That's DC. Anyway, he made an entire bit like a prison in another dimension. Like Reed Richards is intelligent enough to probably figure out what's going on with his body, and arguably make something that could do something on the fly. If Banner in his Godzilla fight could, well, actually, if Banner, who's not as smart as Reed, he's in the like top 5 of the heroes on Earth who are the smartest. But if Banner can make a radio out of interdimensional or intergalactic radio out of scraps, if he were a cave with a box of scraps, if he's capable of making a computer skate the infinite multiverse with a hypermind speed, if he's capable of doing all that stuff, make an own ultimate nullifier, Reed, we know, can do that and then some. So in a straight fight, while it would just be a lot of trading blows back and forth, Reed eventually would figure out what's going on. He figured out a way to kind of put him in his place. But now you had sorcery on arguably the level of Dooms? Oh yeah, no, Plastic Man's after that fight. This until I saw the magic aspect, it was a lot closer of a fight than what was now become. It now became. Because with mysticism, there's nothing stopping him from just reverting him back to a normal human in theory, or just creating a scenario where he can't escape. Because the problem, if you take the mysticism out of the equation, just straight out, is the fact that neither of these guys actually have a means of hurting the other at all. Like, yes, Plastic Man is dangerous, but against someone who has this almost exact same type of body as he does, it really just doesn't do anything. Like, he doesn't have an ability that does anything to Mr. Fantastic. Conversely, Mr. Fantastic doesn't have that either, physically. But like I said, apparently he has sorcery now, and he is vastly more intelligent to the point where on the fly, he could probably make something that could end Plastic Man. Hell, if he just has the ultimate nullifier on him, he could easily do that. So, yeah, I would say definitely Reed Richards would take this fight in the long run. But this is just my opinion. Let me know what you think. Put in the comments below. Let me know. Till then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.